We are so excited to start this new venture. The transition is transitioning into higher. You're right. I'm too hyped already. I'm Danielle.
I'm Cardell.
Hey, Cardell. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You already know the most. We are starting 2021 with this new podcast. It's called Evolving You. And the idea really came from us talking about how the transition became the transition. A lot of our family members have the opportunity to listen to a preview where we introduce ourselves. And it really helped people understand how the transition became the transition. So this podcast, we're starting a year off talking about how I went from my 9-to-5 to an entrepreneur. See, that's not my testimony yet, but somebody got a praise on the inside, and he just can't keep it to himself. So we'll let Cardell start this one off.
Okay, so since she tried to do a bunch, she really did a bunch, but we're here. So yes, God has really been moving in my life in this year. We said 2020 was going to be the year of vision. Like, I've been working a 9-to-5 for the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm gonna build my story. So I've been praying to God. I always said, God, I want to be a full-time entrepreneur. I want to do everything I need to for my business, because me and Danielle have started this business since 2018. And ever since then, we have been working our normal 9-to-5 and working the business all at the same time. So it's like we always knew a constant grind of, okay, we got meetings today, we got this to do, we got that to do. And just doing all these different things is just the point of getting everything done. So I had the opportunity to leave one 9-to-5 to go start at a new 9-to-5. And I'm like, okay, this 9-to-5 is cool. It gives me more benefits. It gives me everything that I really need. And then it was even crazier that I got it in the middle of a pandemic. So as the time went on, I still wasn't feeling like that was the right position for me. It wasn't the right thing for me to still continue to do or to really build a career in or anything of that nature. So like as time went on, I still did my job, still did everything that I was supposed to do and different things of that nature. And then it came to the point of I was praying to God. I'm like, God, I just feel like I need to do something different. And God dropped on me maybe.
That's what happens. When you say, Lord, I need to do something different. That's where it takes off.
That's where it takes off. And I was praying and God just dropped on me like, this year, I'm going to make you a full-time entrepreneur. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I guess you're going to drop a big blessing. I guess you're going to send a whole bunch of clients. I hope you're going to do a bunch to put me in that position, because I've always been that person that I always got to have that security blanket. I always got to say, no, I need money coming in on a consistent basis. And I can't be sitting out here out in these streets, be struggling. Like, no, that's not my personality, because it's like, I always got to stay on the grind 24/7. And so like it came to November. So I worked this job 4 months and 14 days. Yes, I know the exact time that I got hired and when I was released.
You gotta know. You have to know where you've been, so you know where you're going, huh?
Exactly. And so that 4 months and 14 days ended, and now I am a full-time entrepreneur. And it's the point of I knew it was coming, but didn't know when it was coming. Because it's like God planted seeds in you way before the situation happens. Because I will go back maybe, I believe it was in 2019, 2018, one of them. This lady came up to me and I'm just walking to my car from church. We had a church service at the church. I'm walking back to my car and this lady just stops me. And she's talking to me and she's, one thing that she said to me, she said, you're going to get a job, but you're not going to have that job long. And God wants you to be a full-time entrepreneur. So here we are now. I only worked the job 4 months and 14 days. And now God has not convicted me. Nothing in my spirit has convicted me to go back to a 9 to 5. And it's the point that now I need to pursue my full entrepreneurship. So it's like, Lord, what's really going on?
What's really going on, Jesus?
But he gives so much evidence of what is about to happen. I've been listening to different words, or every single word that I listen to back has been giving me confirmation. God is going to accelerate you. Things are going to happen quickly in your life. And all these different things are popping off back to back. And I'm like, okay, Lord, I ain't got nothing to worry about. Because it's like one thing that me and Danielle pride ourselves on in our business is that even though if we don't have the money right now, or if things aren't happening right now for us, in the word it says that even though how is it worded? It's worded that God provides for the birds. He provides for all these rabbits. He
provides. Because if he provided food for the birds,
he can do what
I'm not much more than that.
Exactly. So it's like, I know I am more than that because I give God thanks. I give him the glory and I give him the honor. So me giving God all of this, I'm just like, you know what? I have nothing to worry about. Because it's like with 2020, so many people have lost so much. Right. From family members to money to income. But we have to have a conscious understanding that you're walking into something greater. Even though that person is gone, they want you to still continue to walk into greater. And so now I'm walking into greater. Like, Jesus has been dropping clients. We're getting all these different things are happening. But moving. At the same time as well, me and Danielle have been praying, God, put us in our next realm. We've been praying that for over the last year. God, put us in our next realm, God. We just don't want to elevate to a new level, God. We want to be on a whole new realm of things. And then I really sit down after that situation happened, and I was like, God, I am in a new realm. Like, you're answering my prayers back to back, and I'm just like, wow. Because another thing that we say is, God, blow our mind, elevate our faith, and now our new word is accelerate us forward.
Accelerate us.
Because we understand, like, God, you're answering our prayers. It may not be when we think it needs to happen, but you are putting us in a new realm. Because being a full-time entrepreneur, that is a whole new realm for me.
It's a whole new realm.
I mean,
you gotta wake a whole new world. Come on, it's a whole new world.
Because it's like, I'm not on nobody's clock. Nobody's saying, what are you doing? What are you not doing? Hey, let's have a meeting real quick. If I'm meeting, it's because I'm meeting because I want to meet. And it's not like I had any problems with anybody telling me anything to do. But if you know God has greater for you and higher for you, I mean, what's the stress or the worry about anything?
I'm so glad that you shared. That's why I kind of put you on the spot first, so you can go ahead and throw that out there. Because now I really want us to walk backwards in how this became into fruition. Like, how do you go from that 9 to 5 to your own business? Like, what steps do we need to take to start a business? Like, I hear people ask all the time, how did you start a business? But here's the thing. I don't think, and maybe I'm just speaking for me though, I had no experience with owning a business at all. I just knew the vision that God gave. That's really all I had was God's vision. And you just got to step out on faith in that. And I know for some people it's, okay, I want to do this, and I know I want to do this, and I want my business to be like this, and I want it to look like this. But it's really the whole struggle I feel is orchestrating that and really doing it. So that's where I feel like me and you, Cardell, we just we hopped in. We had zero experience, but we hopped in.
Right. Because that was the main thing. Like, God really sent people to us to help us out along the way. And then with us starting business so early, we wanted to make sure we had everything in line. I mean, and that's the main thing when you start a business, get everything in line. Because once you get everything in line, when it comes to a certain point in time, you don't have to worry about the little things. Like, we got our partnership contract out the way. We got our LLC out the way. We got our city, our county. Everything for us to be a legitimate business in the United States, we have done. and our trademark is on the way. So it's like everything for us to be seen as a respectable, legit business, everything is done. So we've always said, like, God, when we get everything done, that's when we know all the blessings are going to happen. And we're at the ending point now. So it's just like, we're just ready to walk in. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where people along the way, they get discouraged because they feel like it's too much. It's so overwhelming, but it's really not. You just have to know on the inside, this is really what I want to do.
On the inside. Right. And even with that, the steps that you mentioned, it wasn't like we had all of that in the beginning. We had to go step by step. We had to go get the county license. We had to get the city license. We got the LLC and the trademark. And you say it's on the way, but it's there now. It's there. If you go to the USPTO website, you will see the transition digitally evolving there. And you will see the owners, Danielle Woodward and Cardell Davis there. We're just waiting for them to print the paper.
Print.
Just print. Just stop COVID, stop delaying some things, and just print the paper. That's what we're waiting for. But all of those took several steps. We didn't have it all starting off. It took a plan. We had a plan of, what do we need now? What do we need this month? How are we going to pay for this? What money are we using for that? We had to save money for the trademark. We knew we needed the trademark, but we couldn't just jump into it. And I think that's what being a business owner means. You're planning, but you're also investing in yourself. You can't be afraid to invest in yourself. I feel like the biggest takeaway from our 2 years in business is understanding the importance of investing in you. Will it cost money? Yes. But in the end, you will reap if you faint not, because you choose to invest in you. You're not investing in Wall Street. You're not putting your money in another business. You're not putting your money in another major company. You're putting your money in you. You're saying, I believe in me, therefore I'm going to invest in me. If you don't want to invest in your business, how do you expect someone else to come in and invest in you? You are your first biggest fan. Like, I love the transition. I'm the first transition biggest fan. Before everybody else met the transition, I'm team transition. It's like you have to understand it. That's your baby. You have to love it. Even if someone else does not love it, you have to love it. You have to invest in it. You have to pay for it. You have to care for it. And here it is. It takes money over time. You still have to keep up the licenses. You still have to go get the LLC every year. But it's a part of taking care of your business and understanding that this is my brand. I don't want to lose it, so I'm going to do everything I can to keep it. And I think that's like the key thing with being an entrepreneur, understanding, one, will it cost you money up front? Absolutely. But the key is understanding that if you want your business to grow, then you have to sow into yourself.
Right. And I think another thing is that I want people to understand is that I didn't put myself in this position to be like, okay, I'm going to quit my job and be a full-time entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. Now, if God is speaking that to you, do what you got to do. But for me, it was the whole fact of me and Danielle always knew we didn't just want to quit our job and go into a full wholeheartedly, because we knew that we needed to get everything together, because you have to have those multiple streams of income to make your business thrive, because it's like this basic business principles. You got to pull from one pot to get to another pot. So basically, like, my regular job was my cash cow that I'm pouring into my investment of, like she said, into my business, because this is what I want to do at the end of the day. I'm here with these people. I'm doing everything with these people. But my main and ultimate goal to work towards my reality is to make sure to keep funding my dream. Because if you don't fund your dream by still thinking about it, still writing ideas out, pouring money into it, it's not going to turn into reality. It's just going to still just be a simple thought you had one day that just came across your mind. But you have to literally work your dream to see it come into a reality. Because that's one of the quotes that we use after transition. Come to the transition where we turn your dreams into reality, because we can work out every plan, every dream, every thought. We'll work through the whole thing, because we want you to understand that working with us is something that we want to love your dream like you love your dream. and turn it into their reality. So now I've seen the evidence of how you can pour work into something and now reap the benefits of living in that reality. And I mean, even when you live in that reality, everything is not laid out for you. You still have to continue to work, still reach those other avenues, reach other people, do everything that you have to possibly do to grow your reality bigger and bigger. Like, because your reality that you thought in your head may have been small, but you have to realize your reality is so much bigger. All you have to do is keep going and going and going. Don't stop regardless. If it gets hard, keep pushing, because you did it when it was a dream. Why can't you do it when it's your reality?
Come on here. You trying to become a bishop on the podcast? Okay. But when you were talking, you reminded me of something that Tyler Perry always says. You have to keep going because you don't know who's on the other side of your dream. You don't know who's on the other side of your vision. Like, yes, it's your vision. Yes, it's your dream. But you don't know who you are meant to help. And even with the transition, I have just, the clients that we have met and everybody who has said, I didn't even know I could do that, or I didn't even know that that was marketing. I didn't know that marketing worked like that. Just seeing their faces, and when they learn something new on how to enhance their business and how to enhance their brand, it makes me light up because now they have this excitement about their brand again. It's like, we know we love our brand. That's what some people say. I know I love my brand. I know I need to invest in my brand, but I don't know how to do it. And I feel like the transition answers that question of how. How do I enhance my marketing? How do I get my brand out there? It's like the vision that God gave us was the answer to other business owners' dreams. And that blows my mind. It's amazing how God can give you a vision and you think the vision is for you, but that vision is really for you to go out, put the work in, and then help somebody else. Because that's what the word says. It says, given it shall be given. In order for you to give back to others, I mean, God had to give us a vision.
Exactly. And it's like God has given us, I feel like, gifts and talents. Because as we say, this is a God business. Like, we understand that every way that this business has happened is because God wants it to keep happening. Mm-hmm. He wants it to keep going and moving and different things of that nature. Because it's just like we say, this business, it was started from a whim. When I say a whim, I mean the tiniest whim. That's where it was started. And of how we organize, how we come up with the name, how we wanted our logo to be. Like, everything took strategic steps to get there. And now we're walking in those strategic steps of how to plan everything out. Because it's like, we know that a lot of people, they be like, I don't know how to do this. I really want to start a business, but it seems like it's hard. It's really not hard. It's just the point of literally just starting somewhere. If you just write out your ideas, start doing research, start doing all these things, then everything will start coming into play. Because that's what we had to learn along the way. A lot of things, like we say, we did not know, but God sent people. Because that's one thing that we pray as well, is that God, what we don't know, we will know. So it's like God will send the right person. He'll give you the right website while you're researching. Everything just comes into play. You just have to do the work.
He will send
and when the work is there, your reality is going to come into play. Point blank, period. That's like, good. I'm living in my reality, and I'm so excited every day how my dream that I wrote out on a note in my phone, I'm living in that reality right now. It's not because I went to sleep and I said I wanted it to happen. No, I put the work in to let it happen. And then I'm going to bless somebody else's life by the things that I have done. Because that's what it's all about. It's blessing somebody else. Like, even if I get all the knowledge, I want to pass that knowledge to somebody else, because somebody else is in the same position I'm in. They don't understand how things work. I'll teach you how it works. I don't care. It's plenty of business. It's plenty of people. Like, just stay focused and just watch everything plan out effortlessly.
For sure. And I agree with all of that. Just stay focused. Keep the focus. when we first started, we did this blog, and it was transition and mindset. That was the topic of it. And I feel like we started with that because in order to go forth with a business, you have to transition your mindset. You can't go into entrepreneurship with the same mindset as a 9 to 5, because you have to then make the decisions that your managers were making. Like, you have to then balance the budget. With a 9 to 5, I feel like you have a specific role. You know your role. You know your job duties. Entrepreneur, you do it all. You are the accounting. You tracking your own miles. You're your own assistant. You're setting up your own meetings. It's you are everything in that business, and I feel like that right there, that may be the hard work for some people. That may be hard for some to say, I want to start a business, but I don't know if I have time to do it. For me, I still have a job, yes, but you have to find time to invest in yourself. So I say I got 3 full-time jobs. Like, that's so much going on.
You have the most going on.
I have the most going on, but that's okay because I know the Lord is going to continue to give me strength, and He's going to continue to give me the energy and the wisdom to work the vision. Our mother, Pastor Winston, always says, though the vision tarry, I know it's in the Bible, but she always reminds us, though the vision tarry, wait for it. We may not be where we thought we should be right now, but we are definitely not where we were when we started in 2018. Exactly. 100% not. We have elevated, we have grown, we've learned so much. We've had clients come, we've had clients go, but through it all, we're still thankful. We're still grateful for every open door. We even thank God for those closed doors because they taught us something. Mm-hmm. And if you're not learning along the way, then what are you doing? You're just walking. You have to learn. Even if it doesn't work out, you have to learn. That's
the main thing is that a lot of people, once that door closes, they thinking like, oh, it's not for me anymore. But you have to understand that every closed door is pushing you into purpose as well. Just because the door open don't mean it's a good door that open. No, sometimes doors open and you walk in them, and it's a big situation that you wasn't necessarily ready for. Mm-hmm. But you have the understanding of, like she said, you have to learn, okay, just because it looks good, let me re-strategize how next time I walk in the door, I'm going to peep in the door instead of just walking in all the way. Because you just have to have precautions with any business interaction. You have to know, okay, I'm walking into this. This sounds good. It looks good, but does it benefit me? Because that's one thing, like different things can happen. You got a dream and then you're trying to work your dream, but then something comes in that don't feel right and don't look right. And then you let that dream go because you're trying to perfect it and put it into position that it doesn't need to be in. But it's the whole fact of that if you just took your time, paced yourself through, because one of our blog posts is embrace the pace, is because we had to understand that everything isn't going to happen quickly. Everything is not going to happen fast. And we understood too that, like Daniel was saying too, that we have to change our perspective of how we view things when you're in business. Because if you just keep thinking that everything is just going to fall in place when you start, no. Because I mean, with any dream, it starts somewhere. And you have to build yourself up to that reality. And because one thing that we like to do with us is say, okay, I do have to change my perspective on how I'm viewing things because I'm thinking from a normal person's mindset. But I have to make sure that I'm ready for all the strongholds. Like, is the money going to be here this week? Is this going to be here this week? Mm-hmm. Is the client going to stress me out? Is this going to work out? Is that going to work out? Because there's so many different factors in business and doing everything that you're doing that it can add a lot of stress. So you have to start slowly moving your mindset to understanding that, okay, it's a lot going to happen. Let me just be prepared for it and take the risk to do everything.
That's so good. That's so good. So in this podcast, because we don't want to just ramble about the transition, we want to actually offer up some tips for the business owners who are out there saying, hey, I actually want to start this. I want to do this. and I want to do this year. We're in a new year, 2021. Let's go. This is my year. 2020, okay, didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. But guess what? I made it to 2021. What now? So I feel like the first thing for business owners or future entrepreneurs, even if you want to write a book, whatever you want to do, step one, write it down. Mm-hmm. I mean, you don't know. It may be in your head. It may be in your head. I'm not going to say you don't know. But it's hard to see where you're going if you don't have the map. Write it down. That helps you keep focused. That helps you hold yourself accountable. And here it is. It also reminds you of where you started so that when you get to that point where your dream is not your reality, when you get to that point where you're now living in the evidence of your faith, when you get there, you can go back to the vision that you wrote down at the beginning of 2021 and you said, I started here with a blank sheet of paper. And now look. Step one, write the vision. Make it plain. Me and Cardell, we have our future office. We have every detail written down. Do we have the building yet? No. Do we have the money for the building yet? No. Do we know where the building will be? Don't know which state. We don't know the zip code. But we have the vision written down. We know how it's going to look. Write the vision. Because here it is when that person comes to us and say, you know what? I just got this free building. I want to gift it to somebody. We don't have to go back and start writing down, oh, what are we going to do with this building? No, we already know.
Exactly. Because that's the main thing. God plants seeds. You writing out your vision is planting that seed. And then you continuously working on that plan, that's watering your seed. So eventually that seed is going to grow into what you want it to. So you just, like you said, write it out. Because that was the main thing we did. Like, it don't matter how crazy it sounds, how dumb it may sound, write it out. We have like at least 8 or 10 big sheets of paper we have written things out. And we prayed over them. Like, we just like, Lord, we don't know when it's going to happen, but we know it's going to happen.
We know it's going to happen. So we got step one, write it out. Step two is you have to stay focused. You're not going to start off from jump with everything that you just wrote down on that paper. But the key is staying focused and then creating a plan. How do you get past step one? How do I get to this? Write down your plan. How much money do you need to get to the next level? How much money do you need to save to get to the next level? What do you need to do? Who you need to meet? Is there somebody out there who can help you? Because that's the thing. And I've noticed this a lot with entrepreneurs. We like helping other entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. So is there somebody out there who can help you? Can you get some advice from someone? Free advice. Can you get their advice? After you write the vision, step two, stay focused, and then create your plan to get to your next level.
And I think with the staying focused part, the main thing that you have to do is find an accountability person. Somebody that you know that you can trust, that's not going to take your idea, because, I mean, people do that type of stuff, but you just need somebody that you can trust, that can say, okay, I understand where you're going through. I'm going to make sure that you on your P's and Q's. Give me deadlines. Give me everything that you got so I can make sure that you reach your reality. Because that's the main thing is, like, a lot of times when we start a business by ourselves or have an idea by ourselves, it's like you don't want to tell nobody because you feel like somebody's going to steal it. It has to be somebody in your circle that you ultimately trust to say, hey, be my accountability partner. Like, keep me on track. Keep me on everything I need to. I'm just going to tag you in some stuff just so you can make sure that we on the same page. Because once you do that, that's going to help you build that discipline. Because that's one thing as well, staying focused is that discipline. Okay, I got to do this, 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 and this. Mm-hmm. And it's just, once you start doing that, you're going to be on a good path. Like, people, it's the new year. People want to start doing New Year resolutions. That be your first New Year's resolution. Writing your plan out for 30 days. If it's something small,
That's
one
good.
sentence, one something, because once you do it for 30 days, you have built a habit. And once that habit is created, it's not going to be nothing to you to do it the next month, in the next month, in the next month. It's going to be a habit that you have developed, and you're going to keep growing a plan and an idea. And that dream that, like I said, you don't plant the seed. Just keep watering it all year long.
That's good. That's good. And really, I feel like that's going to help you get to the level where you start to see the growth. Once you write the vision, once you plan, once you water the seed throughout the years, Cardell said, how do I water my seed? I make connections. I start connecting with people who can help my business. I start evaluating my circle. Because if you can't handle this dream, I don't need you near it. I don't need you making me drop my dream. I need everybody in my circle to be able to handle this vision. So that's put that up there with number one. Evaluate your circle.
And that's very true, because it's like with my circle, I told them, I said, hey, I got released from my job, and I feel like God is getting ready to make me a full-time entrepreneur. Every single one of them told me, congratulations, taking that big leap. God's going to do it. So it's like you got to have those people in your circle that's going to push you and motivate you. Because they could have been like, oh, wow, really? Do you think it's time to be a full-time entrepreneur? They could have said something completely different. But I know I have the right people in my circle, in my space, because they are continuing to motivate me. So it's just like, if your circle don't motivate you, and and then make sure that it's genuine. I know my circle is good. Like, they the most solid circle in the world. Like, they would do anything and everything for me and Danielle. So it's like, we don't have to worry about them. When they say something, they mean it. Trust me. But it's just the whole fact of, you got to have solid people in your circle. And everything that's happened in 2020, you need to go in 2021 with some solid people. Don't be going out with no flaky folks.
We don't have time for the flakiness, okay? With that, with the circle and building that, I feel like I kind of lost my train of thought right there. What was I saying? Going back to your point of the circle, I'm going to get my life together. So leave it alone. Please leave it alone. With your circle, though, I feel like going back to that's really key. Because, and I tell Cardell this all the time, I win when you win. We win when the circle wins. We don't want to just be the only entrepreneurs in our circle. We want to help other entrepreneurs be great. We want to help others grow. We don't want to be selfish. We here, come on in with a table and spread the feast of the Lord is going on. We want to share the feast. We don't want to just eat by ourselves. So that's why, again, it's important to build your circle and make sure you have some solid people, as Cardell was saying. Because at the end of the day, when you have your Fortune 500 business, let's throw that in the atmosphere. When you have that, you don't want to have flakiness. You better catch it. You don't want to have a flakiness around you, because you don't want to lose that. That's great. This is your dream. This is your vision. This is your baby. You don't need flakiness around your dream. We need to make that a shirt. You don't need flakiness around your dream.
And that's true, because it's like a lot of people, they act like they're in your corner, but not in your corner. They're just saying stuff like, girl, or boy, he talking about that business, but that don't sound right. This don't sound good, or whatever the case might be. But if you feel that way, communicate that to me. Don't talk behind my back.
Don't talk
like, let me know where I need to advance at, because I may not thought of something, especially if you really in my circle and you solid with me.
For sure. I got my thought back. When Cardell said the fact that some people may come to you with the negativity, that's another key part of being an entrepreneur. You have to be okay with no. Some people are going to say no, and that's okay. That no will eventually lead you to your yes. And you have to be able to pray for wisdom and understanding and discernment with that no. Because that no, it may not mean no forever. It just may be a not yet. Mm-hmm. So with that, ask for wisdom. Ask God for discernment. Ask God for direction so that you know if that no is a no forever, shall I let it go? Or is this a no, not yet? I need to get my life together. I need to get my plan together. I need to be a little bit more solid before I come to you. But as an entrepreneur, understand no's will happen, but they will eventually lead to your yes.
Right. Because it's like every no, like we said, every closed door can be a blessing in disguise. You may not realize it, but it's a blessing in disguise because you don't know what opportunity or what situation get ready to pop up with that person. Because it's like in business, you don't really know what people do when they go home in their personal life. You only know them on a professional level. Mm-hmm. So that door and that opportunity may have closed for a reason. You accept it, you push on, and be like, it's going to be 10 times better blessings on the horizon for you. Because, I mean, for me, I know, like, from me getting released, I know that I said, God, I got released or whatever the case might be, but I know it's something 10 times greater out there for me. And God has been showing the evidence to me that this is why I needed you to be available. Because the opportunities are popping up. Big things are getting ready to happen for the transition. Big things are about to happen in my life. People are going to be confused how I got from here to another place. And I'm just going to drop that out there in the atmosphere because it's just like 2021, no matter what's happening in 2021, whatever comes, I know that God still got me. I know that God is still going to bless me. So I have nothing to worry about.
Nothing. As we close here, Cardell, what would be your word of 2021 for entrepreneurs? If you could just give them one word.
Purpose. I would say 2021 is purpose. And the reason that I say that is because, like I say, 2020, we prayed for the vision of everything. And I feel like 2020 showed us a lot. How we should keep close with our family, how we should interact with people, how we should just don't take anything for granted type of deal. And so with everything that I have dealt with in 2020, I say that God, I'm ready to walk into my purpose. Because as we say, this podcast is called my transitioning from my 9 to 5 to my entrepreneurship. So now I'm walking into my purpose. And even if you're at your 9 to 5, you're walking into your purpose. You may be working hard for that promotion, or you may have been working hard on a project. I feel like everything that we've been through, God is going to give the purpose of why you had to go through that in 2021.
That's good. That's good. Look at you. I didn't know what you were going to say. So I was like, wow, let me just throw this out here. That's good. I like that. The word is purpose. That's real. I don't have anything else to say. That was so good. The word of 2021 is purpose. Yes. Okay. Well, do you have anything else you want to add?
No.
Drop the mic, sir.
I think I dropped the mic on that one.
You get on my nerves so bad. We want to thank you all for listening to our first official episode of 2021. Again, it's the transition. It's evolving you from your 9 to 5 to your business, from your 9 to 5 to your book. Oh, I hear something right there. From your 9 to 5 to your vision. Come on here. From your 9 to 5 to your purpose. This podcast will bless you. We will drop episodes. We'll put that schedule on our website at transitioningyou.com. And we thank you so much for your support. We thank you so much for listening and just sharing this because we know you're going to share it with all of your friends. So we thank you in advance for doing just that. Until the next episode, do not forget to embrace your next round. Bye.
Bye.